Oh, thank you, baby.
Otherwise, you ask a question, everyone started asking. It's like children.
I really need to know what your intentions are.
For life.
Oh, I
So
know.
far, we got a good connection, so that's good.
We're starting off strong.
Figgins, welcome. Figgins, it's you and
Figgins.
us tonight. Tholen,
Damn it.
Tessa, we love it.
Damn it,
J-Ram,
Figgins.
Dram.
Is that Connecticut? Oh.
User 85367. Uh-oh, polio.
Seth Kimmel.
What?
What's
Snorlax?
up? Seth
Fat
Kimmel.
Mike Gaming.
Oh my
Brian,
gosh.
welcome.
What
We
is
appreciate you being here with us.
J-Ram
J-Ram.
9909, what's up?
Big Bad 344.
All right, you guys.
Chris David.
Is that
Susan Paddock.
Suzanne.
Suzanne. So good to see
Account
you.
by kids. How do you say that one? Tanja.
I don't know.
Liz.
Is it
Sand-
Lisa or Lisa?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Warrior's Way mindset. So what we do is we help people every single day working through their own personal development, figuring themselves out, and we coach with men. And now soon,
Women.
on the 14th, we've got our first women's group in almost 5 years. So that's exciting. Maybe.
It is exciting.
We shall see.
We don't know yet. No, okay.
We're hoping. The Warrior's Way program is very, very difficult. If you're wondering background here, I would follow as a psychologist, but now I've gone into coach to help people out better. I'd rather get in the trenches than just diagnose what's wrong. This is my leader of leaders, women of women, my beautiful, my one and only Andrea. I love you.
I love you too.
She's so sassy and has a lot to share. So be ready. If you guys have any questions, stuff that you guys are working on, we will help answer some of your questions. This is what we do. We also have links to be able to contact us if you wanted to book a call to see if what we do works for you.
Yeah.
The link is in our bio.
It is.
So click
Yeah.
the link, book a call, and that would be awesome.
I gotta say, having this women's class start, even though there are some single women that are joining us, the other cool thing is that what has inspired some of these women to become part of the Women's Warriors program is that their significant other has went through it, and they've been able to see that their guys have seen so much progress so quickly that the women are kind of like, wait, what about me now? So that's an incredible thing. So now the women are jumping in, and now they'll have their husband to help support them throughout their journey as well.
Yeah.
That's really great.
What's up, Zachary
Yeah.
Barker? We are grateful you came by to say hey.
Yes.
It's good to see you.
Appreciate
I
you.
saw AZ Sober on there. I saw you show up. So what's very cool about this too is you ever have anybody ever do a thing where you're like, I want to see how that works for you before I do it. Have you ever seen anybody do that before? Like if that works
You
for
first.
you first. If that works for you, then maybe I'll think
Yeah.
about doing it.
I've done that before.
What's cool is the people who are joining this group are going, I saw what it did, I want it.
Yeah, it's true.
Which
Yeah.
is very exciting. What's up, Carrie? Wait a
Yeah.
second. Carrie, you got it to where your name was just Carrie. That's like she was like the third person to start a TikTok
Yeah.
account. If she got the real name Carrie. It's not like Carrie 256-99044.
Right. Yeah.
Well done. That's very
Yeah.
cool. What's up, Sober Blessed? Free. So you
Yeah.
didn't get the notification.
Well, you perfect timing then, because
We've been on for 6 seconds.
we haven't been on for that long. So, welcome.
Welcome on. So let's talk about some of our stuff, and then if you guys got questions, fire off your questions.
Yeah.
So let's give some people a free psychology tip and a way to make it so their communication and connections with their people get a little bit better. So you are my person. You're
Yeah.
my love. You're my person that is so deep in my heart. You're also one of the very few people that can piss me off because I love you so damn much. Don't worry, it's not an excuse. It really is. She's inside, which makes it very difficult to sometimes discern the difference between going like, I can just keep stoic, stay cool, when this is the person who I have the most feelings for. Because of love, expectations will naturally creep in. So sometimes we argue, we disagree, and this is where our natural defense systems come in. You guys know what I'm talking about, because when you get in a fight, it's either fight or flight. You already know either somebody gets louder or somebody shuts it down.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. You know which one you are. In which case, probably doesn't take a long time to figure out which one we are. Usually, it's opposites attract, because people who are the same usually don't do very well because there's no arguments. You know why? Because either somebody dies or both people leave. So there's got to be that opposites attract.
Absolutely.
It's the only way that there's an argument. So in which case, we'll have our arguments. When her defense system kicks in, she starts to deflect, she starts to shut down, and the participation gets very weird.
Angie, we're going to get to your question, by the way.
I start getting more upset because it's not going the way we know it should be going. So ironically, our arguments are about arguments.
Yeah, it's never about the thing. It's about how we talk to each other.
Yeah, we get mad.
We don't fight about house stuff. We don't fight about money. We don't fight about any of the things that I could get fighting about. We fight about how we talk to each other sometimes.
Yeah, we fight about fighting. It's the funniest thing. You're not arguing the way I need you to argue. What a funny argument to begin with. But that's the one. So what we needed to do is figure out a way to show that the needs that I have that were making me angry, because when it comes to angry, there's 3 different things that generally kick people into anger. You start getting into something taken or something lost. You get into injustice or unfairness. Or it gets into an unmet need, something that you're needing that isn't happening from somebody you care about or somebody who's important to you. In which case, I had an unmet need. I would ask questions, and she would completely ignore my questions. This was her defense mechanism, making me feel unheard, which would make me then get louder, which would make her shut down more.
Right, because the reason that I wouldn't want to answer is because I didn't like the way that he was talking to me. So I was like, no.
No win. There is no win with these systems. You can't communicate, you can't grow, you can't develop, you can't understand. No win. We can't grow.
Yeah.
In which case, we needed to come to some sort of agreement to let you know, hey, this thing is an unmet need. How can I let you know this is happening without triggering you? Now, I'm sure you guys are like, well, what would that be? It would kind of be like if I were to say, hey, didn't do the thing. Some of you got triggered right there. Or snap.
I did. I was like, do not.
That would not be good. If I go, ugh, also not good. When you start doing things to make it so that the other person shuts down even further, done. So, here's what you do. Here's the thing. So that guy bought me a fake diamond ring, right? This guy. So, here's what we came up with. We came up with a solution, and I want you guys to try this too. This is a high-level awareness solution to quit arguing. When you're asking your question or you have some sort of a request to make it work, see if you can also add in what your true intention is.
Yeah.
So, give you an example. If I said, hey, why did you put the thing right here? How did you immediately feel? Like it felt like I was starting that question off. What do you think my intention was?
To push blame.
I'm blaming you.
Yeah.
Why did you put that there? That's blaming.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel if you feel like I'm blaming you?
It makes me feel like you're trying to belittle me or to make yourself look better.
Okay, so I'm trying to make me look better by making you look worse.
It's almost like the power over kind of thing.
So now I'm trying to power over you.
Yeah.
Because I asked you the question, why did you put that there? Right?
Yes.
If I said, hey, babe, why did you put that there? It may be in the way for you to work, and I want you to be productive.
Totally fine. Like, even I can feel the difference just in my overall, like, energy and posture. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it's the tone and the aggressive approach that makes me a little bit like, like, I quickly go on the defense. With your intention, it makes me feel like, okay, I'm in a safe place. I can be more open and accept the things that you are asking.
Yeah, so it makes it easier. We can do this multiple times. What is your intention? Now, for both of you, this is actually a trickier thing than you think to be authentic in what it is that your intention is and be able to argue at the same time. this might get a little bit tricky when you're doing it. So it's going to take some practice to go like, hey, hold on, I'm asking the question because I want us to grow and I don't want us to fight anymore.
Right. Yeah.
I want to understand you because you're important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's tough to be able to catch the authenticity to what it is you really want when sometimes you're really angry.
Yep.
So that's a good tip. I want to see how some of you guys do with seeing if you can catch your authentic intention behind doing the things you're doing when you're arguing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope I'm trying to project here. We don't have our mics on today, so hopefully it doesn't sound like I'm yelling at you guys. My intention is that you guys can do better by learning something new to help you communicate better with your marriage or boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever you're with. That's my intention for sounding so aggressive.
Yeah. So let's jump into some questions, and feel free, you guys, to ask your questions too. Angie, thank you for your patience. How come men don't listen and continue to go down?
Yeah, the Instagram thing or something. What was that
the
one?
Instagram model. I view it as disrespectful. He seems to not care. It bothers me because he continues.
All right, hold on. How come men don't listen and continue to go down the Instagram model? Does this mean like kind of like what is that? What do you think that means? Like look at Instagram models?
Maybe that's like he's liking, or well, I guess let me ask you this, Angie: is he interacting with these posts? Like, is he liking them, commenting, or is he just scrolling through? And this is now like his entire feed is on Instagram are models.
Let's see. We only fight about Instagram activity. Matt, are you with Angie? I don't know. Let's see. Woohoo! Hiya. 100% me and my hubby too. It's the fight about how we are fighting. Okay, we agree with you.
So
Angie
says
the Twitter model.
No interaction, just constantly looking. So you got to push it back up, otherwise you won't see anything.
Baby, I got you. I'm catching up on the comments.
Because I want you to be able to see.
Thank you.
Too. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you too, anonymous mom. No interaction, just constantly looking.
All right, and you've labeled this as disrespectful. I'm curious, just so I can know you, because Angie, I haven't talked to you. I don't know you yet. I know that you view it as disrespectful also, right? Mm-hmm. So, what part about it do you believe is the disrespect? Is it because there's a comparison? Do you believe he's doing that because he's trying to hurt you? It's more of, I guess, what have you added his intention is by doing it? If he's just looking, what have you added the intention is? See, he has a background with cheating partners, or you do. Angie, I'm going to give you, we actually learned a tip from one of our people on this. Try talking to text. Like, we had somebody do it, and like, okay, so you have a cheating background, and so if he even looks at pictures, and you associate this with cheating behavior. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So you've created a narrative to make sure that if he looks at something, that means you're going to have what happened in the past happen again in the future. This is your pattern.
Yeah.
Have you two, has he ever cheated on you, or is it a new relationship? I know we're asking a lot for you with this texting, so I'm just trying to learn you first. Because I don't know their dynamic. I don't know, like, we've known each other for 4 minutes, and he just started looking, and you're like, oh boy.
Right.
You know, I don't know their dynamic.
You're 2 years in.
2 years in.
Has he always done this?
And you have a kid. All right. So, have you guys talked about this without a demand, but trying to understand, like, what is his reason for doing it? Because if I'm going to just say guy-wise, he's probably like, I'm just looking. Big deal. Mm-hmm. Just so you understand, and this is important, guys don't associate emotional attachment to these pictures. Like, women will associate that we're trying to add more to it than what it is. Sometimes you just watch symmetry and you just look at shapes. And so a lot of times women will go like, he's emotionally cheating. I'm not saying it's impossible or not a part of it. I think that if he's interacting, which is why her first question is he liking? Is he interacting? Is he sending DMs? Is he doing these things? Now we're doing a different conversation. But happening to see a picture may not be the same. So this is why I'm trying to understand the level.
I think it's, I think it also depends how much he's really into this. Like, are all his friends just supermodel Instagram people?
That's a good call.
Or is there a mixture, right? So like, is he intentional about like making sure he's friends with these people, or is this just like a feed? I think there's so many different questions you can ask because you can't get around it. Guys are going to look when there's stuff on their social media. I mean, women do too.
Yeah.
So
I think there's a big part of the intention that you're adding to it, that you believe that because there's this behavior, that means that he's going to cheat on you. This comes to the part where, let me ask you a real question, Angie. Yeah. And this is going to be a harder question. Are you able to trust him or anyone that you would date at this point if you've got this pattern? Have you, I guess, let me ask a question. Thanks, Angie. Let me ask the question maybe differently. Have you healed through the past transgressions enough to authentically heal somebody in your life or trust somebody in your life? Yeah, we can do that again. You are right, Anonymous Mom. The apps do target, like, it's the subconscious for what guys are going to stay, like, watching. It's just natural for you to go, like, I looked. Like, it's not a big deal. This is why I say, and I work with men, we don't have an emotional attachment to these photos, just so you know. They don't care. They just look.
Yeah. She said, Angie says, I want to say yes, but at the same time, I don't know.
So this is the hard part about any type of dynamic. Trust is the foundation for any relationship. It doesn't matter what type of relationship it is. Without trust, without that, the relationship will always suffer. And if you don't know if you could authentically trust, regardless of whether he was doing things that made you nervous or not, that's inside of you, that you have to have that peace. Otherwise, nobody will ever be good enough. There will always be a problem, and if not, you'll be creating problems to match what your belief system is, that everybody's going to cheat on you.
Can I add something too?
Sure.
I think you're absolutely right, especially when you've been hurt by the past or in the past by someone that's cheated. You know, it is difficult if you have not worked on yourself to move through that hurt and that pain and the trust part of it. And so, like Rick was saying, if it's not the Instagram, like him scrolling through, or and taking a look, if you have not healed, you're going to be looking for something. What is the next step then? Like, you're going to be looking for trust to be broken because that's what has happened to you. So you have to take the time and heal yourself, so that way you don't project these things.
So, Angie, I just don't want to misread you. You said, why when I do his behavior, it's an issue. I just do it to prove a point. Which, I'm not, again, this isn't meant to judge, but if I'm going, let me try and prove a point by doing something to you, I don't know how healthy your guys' communication is going around these parts. Because now it's trying to prove a point to, I guess what? Make it so you can see my judgment of you is meant to hurt you?
What's the intention?
What's the intention, I guess, for saying, I'm going to prove a point to you by doing it back? Like,
is it, I'm wondering.
If you're doing, like, revenge tactics or some sort of, like, even like somebody else said, like, it's provoking, like, I'm going to try and pick a fight with you just to show you, or I'm going to make you feel bad because you make me feel bad.
Yeah, I want you to feel the hurt that I feel the hurt inside my own self because I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah, I'll just tell you right now, just to give you a healthier perspective, just to give you a different view. I don't care what she looks at. Not because I don't care about her, but because I'm able to trust her. If she's going to go onto a website and try and be with somebody else, you're not gonna stop it. I'm just telling you right now, you have to be able to trust that the person you're with actually chooses to be with you because they choose to be with you. Not because they have to be with you and then live by all of your insecurities. It won't work. While not all of the damage that was done to you and the hurt that was done to you might not be your fault, all of the healing is something you're responsible for. And if you're bringing somebody else's damage to you and putting it onto someone else because they looked at a picture and you don't trust, there's no way for you guys to have more than just a painful dynamic forever. And I think that's not necessarily what you guys are looking for, especially if you're trying to teach a kid how love works. you're only going to be saying you don't trust when you're in a relationship, and then he's going to be going like, you look at whatever you want to in a relationship. You guys are messing with trust. You're messing with it. But you're not trying to gain it or earn it for yourself to make it so I can be open with my own heart. You also have a damaged heart that you're trying to make him adhere to. You guys won't be able to grow any further. You guys were giving yourself a ceiling for as far as you're allowed to love. So if you're going at him with a flawed version of love and then expect him to have perfect love, I think you guys have to reevaluate who you guys really are and where you're at to be able to kind of start over. There may have to be some sort of we need to really look at where we're at. You need to heal from your past.
Yeah.
But he also needs to be aware that some of these decisions to look in another direction may not be helpful for authentically loving the person that you're with. Just saying. Now, I'm not defending him, and I'm also not defending you. It's mostly just awareness of what do you guys really have that you're working on right now. Because it's causing pain to both of you. If you think that you're the innocent one, you also are not. You're doing damage by not trusting that he's going to be a good man to you, which is probably leading to the self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, if you're going to tell me that I'm just going to cheat on you all the time anyways, what's the point in being so good? You call me a liar no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. But start with a conversation. Have the conversation with each other. And if you're willing to work on yourself, be open with him and let him know that this is something I'm really trying to work on. Make agreements with each other, and start from there.
Yeah, Shannon Lee, she said, if that's her boundary, is it wrong in the absence of the past cheating? If you guys have an agreement, it's different. The difference is, and this is something, Shannon, where people goof this up, is people set boundaries as demands, not agreements. Because I made up a feeling means you better do what I said. This makes it so people have a toxic dynamic. It starts to force people by judgment to be something inauthentic. It messes up your relationship later down the road either way. Now, if they have agreements that we don't do this stuff with each other, like I don't do that, you don't do that, we don't do that. That's not the type of relationship we want to have. And they have agreements, and this is us. This is how we do it. Then people start going outside the lines. That's when you have to reevaluate. If I'm with someone who completely dismisses my values, my needs, and my boundaries, my non-negotiables, that may not be your person. And you have to make that decision also.
Yeah.
So right and wrong is very subjective.
Yeah. If you think about someone all day, it's an obsession. Do you think about each other all day?
Let's see, if you think about someone as an obsession, do you think about each other all day? Do we think about it? No, we don't. Oh my gosh. No, we try and get our time in when we can with each other, but she has her passions, I have my passions. We have to do our purpose.
Yeah.
She does her work, I do my work, and then at the end of the day, we're able to share and have our moments together. I think one thing I would probably add in for you, because that's a very good question.
Yeah.
One thing I would probably try to make sure you guys are aware of is when it comes to the way you guys share time and love languages, this is probably a good video, write this down. Not everybody does their love languages the same way. This is a very important thing. I know some people, when it comes to quality time, for example, it's a big deal. End of the day, we finally get time with each other. If somebody's like, I want to do quality time, and they're in their phone. Let me borrow your phone for a second. And we're sitting together, and I'm just doing my phone thing, looking at Instagram boobs or whatever, and I'm just doing my thing, and you're in the same room as me. We're still having quality time. But her version of quality time may be, I need phones down. And I want us to be open and have time with each other and listen. And I want to know about your day, and I want to share my day. And I want us to be able to be interested in growing with each other. But this thing right here, if somebody's putting distraction, and that's what this is, you're right, it's a wall. It's a distraction to stop you two from going, you have my attention.
Yeah.
You're more important. Now be aware, and this is important when I teach my people. Your priorities matter, and what you're doing is your priority. And so if you're with somebody and you're next to somebody and they're doing this instead of doing this, It's because in their priority list, this is more important than you are. It's the same video that I did for You're Not Too Busy.
Yeah.
It's not that you're busy. It's that you are choosing what your priority list is. And you will do whatever the most important thing is at your list. And if we're hanging out together and I'm spending time on this instead of with her, it's because this is a higher priority to me than she is at that time. Now, if you two have an agreement that quality time means no phones, I want to hear about your day. Please tell me the best part about yours. I'm interested in hearing from you because you're my person.
Yeah.
Different types of quality time. Some people don't even have to interact for somebody's cup to be filled for quality time, while other people do.
Yeah.
It's important for you guys to know that even at the end of the day, even if you're not obsessed with each other all day, when you do get that time together, what's that quality? We've seen the same thing with touch.
Yeah.
You know, some guys may be a little aggressive with their touch, thinking like instead of going like, baby, I'm happy to see you today, and being able to love on your girl, they think that when I'm touching you, it's because it's business time.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, hold on, can we have like hand holding? Can we have like some like snuggles, something that doesn't go immediately to sex? Like slow down, get your game back. That may be a thing too, where he's like, for me, touch means immediately intimate. That's what we do right away. And she's like, remember when you used to woo me a little bit? Mm-hmm. Remember when you used to win me over and you used to put in the effort? I really liked that part. Yeah. Why did we stop doing that? Even touch will be different. Think about gift giving. Starts to change. One person will be like, hey, bought you some pens. Mm-hmm. You'd be like, you used to get flowers. You used to do stuff that was different. Like, thanks, it's practical, but it doesn't seem thoughtful, I guess. You know, when people start doing things where like, oh yeah, go get me groceries. And then you start feeling entitled instead of appreciative. Like, it starts getting weird when you start treating love languages without agreements or understanding. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a good question. Like, what do you do when you see each other at the end of the night? I know that our biggest ones, we are quality time and touch. So we'll sit and hang, and I want to hear about her day. I want her to share about the things she's working on. If she does pick up her phone, it's because she's going to show me something that like, hey, I want to share this with you so we can do it together. This is just understanding the way that we show our love languages matches each other's needs to fill each other's cups without blocking, without ignoring, without dismissing, without missing what would be our definition of happiness. Mm-hmm. And this is something that I would love you guys to really remember. We don't get an unstoppable amount of time. We don't have an infinity amount of time here. We don't have a lot of time in this life. In fact, if you look at the timeline of humans, we're just a blip on the timeline. We haven't been around very long, and we don't live very long in that timeline. In which case, the definition that we have for happiness is the blips in life that are found in nouns. And what that means is, a blip is by definition temporary. It does not last very long. It could be a second, it could be a minute, it could be an hour, it could be a day, it could be a week. I don't know how long it lasts, but it's not forever. It's not forever. And if you have somebody who loves you, they're giving you the most important thing that they will ever have in their life, and it's their time. And we take this for granted. If you're with somebody right now, if you're next to somebody right now, you are next to somebody who is giving you their time. It is the most important thing you will ever have, and we throw it away. We dismiss it. We don't care. Whatever. They will never get more back, and you will never get more back. So what did you distract yourself with when you could be appreciating the beautiful moments that you have together, but you missed the opportunity because you were in your phone? You may have missed the chance for you to be able to go, I'm in a blip of happiness because I'm with my person right now. You may be missing it every single day. Now, when I say nouns, it's people, places, things. It could be your favorite mountain that you hike. It could be, your favorite collector's item that you just got. These are the things that, these are moments of happiness. But most of them comes from, if you look at what truly has made you happy in your life, hanging with a friend, hanging with your parents, time with your loved one,
Yeah.
Petting your dog. It's these small little temporary moments that will never happen again. Did you catch them? Some of you, if I asked you what the best part of your week was, you may not have even noticed.
Yeah.
Doxy, it's good to see you, man. You crack me up. So this is a pretty big deal. This is a pretty big deal when you recognize that happiness is these tiny temporary moments, but you may be messing it up by just not understanding or trying to understand, how do we connect? What do you need? What do I need? Do we agree we can do this? Can we put the phones down and go back to how we were when we started dating? I was interested to learn you. I wanted to know more.
Yeah.
And now they don't. What's up, Isaiah? I see you. I'm glad to see you too. But yeah, is it a? Looks like a master, but it could be a M star. I don't know. A movie star, music star. But thanks. I guessed you two in a good relationship are healthier than a hyper investment for each other. Yeah, that's actually probably a pretty good way to say it.
Doxy asks, what do you do with a wife that never wants to show signs of attraction due to fear of boosting my ego?
What a weird thing to do. I'm gonna say this in a weird way. Maybe I do want to hear, do you hear something different than me? I'd like to hear your point of view.
Yeah.
When you're boosting your man's ego, what are you worried is going to happen?
Yeah.
He's going to feel too good about himself. He'll feel too confident.
Yeah. Has she said why? Yeah, she's insecure.
So here's the weird thing about insecurities, and this goes for everybody. You're the only one who can heal it. If you try and make everybody else be worse because you won't get better, you are failing everyone around you. You're the one who's doing harm, not them. It is your responsibility to heal your wounds. Everybody who didn't do it, it's not up to them to feel less confident, to feel less empowered, to have a lower ego, to not feel good about themselves because you're scared of your own stuff from the past.
You know what you need to do, Doxy, is go back and watch one of the videos that he did about what men want and show her that one, because one of the main things is appreciation. And so maybe that will help her too. But to your point, if she's insecure, that's work she has to do on herself. But, as a woman, we should be, and it goes on both sides, be building our men up to make them feel strong. Because if we can do that as women, they're going to be better for us. I think that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Do you really want the person that you're with to be worse?
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're with somebody who, they're so scared of what could happen, they make you feel bad so that it doesn't. Well, even if it works, you're making your person feel bad.
Yeah.
That's not better for you two. That's worse for you two. I can't even imagine me having a fear to make you feel terrible, so that way you don't leave me.
No, it's such a, if you did that to me, I would find it highly unattractive. I want you to be strong. I want to be strong for you. You want to be strong for me. As a team, we are strong together. You can't grow with that mindset of, I don't want to make you feel good because you may feel too good. That's not a healthy dynamic.
Why would this is my partner. That's my teammate. You're her teammate. Why would she want to protect her? Her lover, her man, her person who's going to be there whenever stuff goes south, when things get really hard and you two have to go through the muck. She wants you to be crippled and feel insecure and feel not good enough, have a low ego, low confidence.
Here's something too, because you talk about this all the time. Maybe you can touch on this. How sometimes when women go to say the things that they don't want, right? So if she's saying, I don't want to compliment you because I don't want your ego to boost, does that mean that you want me not to feel good about myself? What is the opposite of that? And is that what she really wants? Because that's ultimately what she's creating. So if you end up becoming the person that she wants, guaranteed she's not going to like that person. She's going to go after someone else that seems more powerful, that seems stronger, that seems like they got it together. It's such a twisted dynamic.
Is this almost under the category of narcissism? No. This isn't narcissism. This is a hurt person who's trying to protect themselves. So this isn't narcissism. She's not trying to take everything from him. She's just scared something will be taken from her. Very different.
Yeah.
So no, this one wouldn't be narcissism.
And the thing is, someone just asked if they can, a tricky one. Yeah, go ahead, Gunna.
Of course, yeah, Gunna, that'd be great.
The thing is, me trying to explain these things, she takes as, oh, he's trying to fix the relationship. And by fixing the relationship, he is chasing me. So she gives me the trouble for me to fix because indicates I like her.
She's definitely not a narcissist, for sure. No, I don't see a narcissistic trait here. No, this is the opposite, and this is self-shaming, and this is hurt. This isn't narcissism. So, it's an interesting thing to see, like this thing. Let me make sure I understand before I kind of assess which piece it is. Oh, he's trying to fix the relationship, and by fixing the relationship is chasing me. And so if he gives me, so she gives me trouble for me to fix because it indicates that I like her. So she creates problems to know that you will give her attention. It's almost like if I do something bad, it makes it so I know that you love me. Or if I hurt you and you try and fix it, that means that you care. This may be me trying to bridge a gap and jumping too far, but this falls under what looks like some sort of it's a form of addiction, and this is one that maybe you guys haven't thought about too often. When you start getting into the denial of the reality of what it is that you're in, and you're stuck in your lost system, and they're stuck in denial to where they don't want to have a reality to recognize that the person they're with chooses them, and I have a healthy relationship, and they're still stuck in the past, and they don't want to deal with going through the race to acceptance to get through it. That's when there's a degree of distraction that comes in, which is going to go through your positive emotions to make it so you can feel good, even if just for a minute, at the cost of feeling worse long term. It's the same rules as prescription drugs and alcohol and emotional eating. It's the same rules. This addiction is misery. Misery can be an addiction. My sister has this addiction. People who are addicted to misery need to have bad things happen in order to get attention, because when negative things happen, people pay attention to them and they try for them. And when people pay attention, this is the only time I ever feel important and loved, which means they associate bad things with attention, which means love. Which means they're addicted to the feeling of being important from trauma, from bad things, and they will sabotage the shit out of everything they have. They'll sabotage you, they'll sabotage their job, they'll sabotage their friendships, they'll sabotage their beautiful things that they have. They will ruin everything just so they can tell everybody, do you see how bad it is for me? Yeah.
It's almost like would you say it's like an addiction to like chaos?
Like almost. There's a method to the madness. There's a reason why they're doing it. And the reason is they've never gotten out of a lost system. They've never dealt with whatever trauma or pain or loss that they went through. There's something they're holding on to, but in complete denial of what that is. Instead of having an acceptance of reality, instead of going through and getting past the bargaining phases, instead of getting out of depression or getting less than angry about this thing, they make it so that they will create distractions by making problems for others to fix, so that way they can tell everybody about how bad things are. So they get attention, and they associate that attention with being loved. And if this is something I got from Anthony Jones, he's a psychologist, wrote 6 books on this stuff. Him and I were talking, and he was saying the biggest issue you're going to run into with people is when they have a higher value for their problems than they do their solutions. This means she values having things go bad more than having a solution to make it so she can't have the misery that gives her love and attention. She values the negative because she calls the negative a positive. She can't get rid of what she is calling a love system, which means I make problems for you to fix to know that you care about me. This is going to be a perpetual system until she's able to sort out what it is that she went through that she lost. Until she gets through her acceptance phase, her honor phase, her meaning phase that she went through, she's going to perpetuate sabotage because she's going to make the relationship match what she believes that she is worth. And if she feels that her worth is lower, she's going to keep hurting you. And then once you get mad, once you've had enough, and once you're done taking all of the damage that she's doing, then she's going to tell everybody else, see, everybody always does this to me.
Yeah.
I loved with no regard. I gave perfect trust, perfect love, and I'm always taken advantage of. Completely omitting all of the things that she did to sabotage you in order for you to give up.
Yeah.
Everybody always quits on me. But never saying how you were damaging him every day to make it so he had enough.
Yeah.
So it's pretty intense one. So it seems like she's struggling with an addiction to get through her loss system, and her distraction that she has chosen, which is probably deep in her belief system about where love comes from, is from attention from misery. It's from things going bad so she can be noticed and important again. So she'll make you problems to fix.
Oof, you gotta read the last one.
She makes me earn her intimacy. Again, this is a big problem inside of her for her value system. She's working through whatever that is to make it so that you have to earn it. Listen, you're not working together. You're not building each other. You're not growing. Now you have to deal with all of her crazy because she won't.
And bad advice from stupid friends too. Here's what I will say, and this is more for the women than the men, because men don't typically do this, but women do. And so when you have a good group of girlfriends that you're close with, naturally they want to support you as their friend. I would highly encourage you find people in your circle that will still support you, but will also challenge you. I see women, I was just shared this probably about a month or two ago about this whole conversation I heard at the coffee place where this woman was talking about leaving her husband because he wasn't doing A, B, or C, right? And all the girlfriends, there's probably 6 of them, were like, yeah, girl, you've had enough. Like, just go ahead and you're right, just leave him. And I'm like...
Being agreeable.
It took me biting my tongue to be like, wait a minute. I didn't do it, but I wanted to. Because she needed a friend that was saying, hey, listen, maybe that's not what you need to do. Like, pump the brakes for a second. So it's important that I think it is the agreeableness. You know, find women or find people that are going to be able to challenge you in a respectful and productive way to maybe have you think about it a little bit differently. So.
Yeah, there's no more authenticity. People are trying to just appease everybody. It's sad stories.
Yeah.
Somebody else, I'll say it again. The thing that I got from Dr. Jones, he said, when people value their problems more than their solutions, they will not heal. They will not get past it. And so it's a very important thing to recognize when you're trying to give somebody advice. And you guys have seen this. People who are in bad relationships, people who have a job they hate, people have a habit that they know is not good for them. And while it falls completely under cognitive dissonance and they know what's right and wrong, they still stay because they value their problems more than their solutions. Even if the solution ends with anything going, it's unknown. You're like, everything is better than what you're doing. And they're like, but I don't know what it is. And it's that whole devil you know thing. Yeah. People create interesting excuses and justifications to do things that harm them all of the time. So I'm glad to repeat that for you, and hope it helps, because it's something that if you really think about, you may catch some of your own cognitive dissonance on that, where you're like, I know better, but do it anyways. It's pretty crazy stuff when you start really doing some self-awareness, or even look at your own level of authenticity of what am I really doing, who am I really?
And before
Randy, you're funny. Yeah, she looks like a judge tonight.
Yeah, we were setting up this room. He was like, I feel like, what did you say? We're on trial?
Yeah, it looks like it's time to go on. Like now it's time for your sentencing.
So, before we jump into the next question, I just want to say to everybody, Rick is a men's coach, as you've all been able to witness here tonight, no pun intended on my judge outfit. So if you're looking to book a call, we are starting a women's group on the 14th of September, so you can jump into that. We only have a couple spots
We have like 3 spots left. We
Yeah.
only have 3 spots left.
We have a new men's group that's starting too. He has multiple running right now, but if you are looking to book an appointment with Rick, it's free. Click the link at the top, and you can book an appointment with him.
He said it's a pastor and a judge. He said pastor and his wife. LOL. I said it looks like a pastor and a judge. That's what it looks like.
I'm judging him as the pastor. How weird is that?
It's like it's like double judgment. Let me tell you what I think God thinks, and you'll be like, and guilty. I speak on behalf of big guns upstairs.
Yeah, I'll take it.
By the power invested in me.
Or the judge outfit, if I got the judge money, that's okay.
Okay, I see what you're doing.
Not really. Okay.
Want to answer Granny's undies?
Wait.
Sarah says, Q, what does it mean when you seem to subconsciously attracting the same type of women that I don't too? I don't know if I understand the question correctly because I know there's a typo. The thing that's going to be tricky with what I do is I am particular for some of the words. I try to not fudge it too much because
and I like to guess and assume.
We can create a totally different meaning than what you meant. Is there any way that you can maybe ask that in 2 different parts? Like what does it mean when you subconsciously are attracting the same type of women? Maybe I don't want to, or like this is where I would have to add words.
I'm assuming I don't want to.
I don't want to add words for you on this one. So I just want to make sure you said I don't want that in my life. Okay, so for like you're attracting women into your life that you don't want into your life. So this is something that you guys might think this is a little interesting. I had to go through this also. There are things that happen in our past, and a lot of times we end up being attracted to what we know. This doesn't usually mean very good. Sometimes we've grown up with some troubling stuff in our childhood, some tough parents who may have been doing their best, but that doesn't mean good job, by the way. And we're going to be attracted to what we've been around or what we know. And some of us weren't around very good things, which means you may be attracted to the chaos, or you may be attracted to addiction, or you may be attracted to crazy, you may be attracted to pain, or people who have been through things. I did grow up in a house that was abusive. I did grow up where my dad and my mom were not a healthy dynamic. It showed me a very sad version of what love was. He was very abusive to my mom, abusive to us. She wouldn't back down, which didn't do her any favors. And in which case, even when I was a young kid, 8 years old or whatever, when I would see this behavior happening, of course, naturally, you try to protect your mom. I was useless. I would just be in the way, and I would just get hurt. I couldn't protect her at all. My mom ended up leaving, which caused a whole lot of damage inside of me, and this made it so that I was abused on one end and I was abandoned on the other end. And as I got older, I started to work through my own stuff. I started to work through my own issues, and I got stronger. I started going more into subconsciously the own stoic mask, of some of the anger mask. I started doing some of these things. But I found myself, as I got stronger, attracted to wounded birds. I found myself attracted to girls who were messed up because now I could save them. Girls who were abused, girls who were molested, girls who were abandoned and damaged, girls who didn't have a dad, all this stuff. I was attracted to that because now I can save you. Now I'm strong enough to do something. The problem is when I would date damaged people, it was a double-edged problem for me. On one hand, I was capable enough to help people do better, and I would help them become better. But then there was another issue that would happen. Either A, I took so much damage trying to help that the flailing that would happen from being so hurt from other people, that by the time that they were better, I would still be like, oh, I'm flinching from what you've done even for us to heal. The other side was, and this is the part that'll wake you up, once they're better, who am I in this relationship? Because I was the one who was saving you. I was rescuing, I was helping you heal, I was nurturing you back to health. And then now that you're better, I'm not attracted to you anymore. I don't have any purpose in this relationship. I don't know what my role is. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. And then I would kill the relationship because I didn't know what I was supposed to do. Now that you're better and I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I can't help you. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I was attracted to trying to save my mom. So I would date girls who were messed up so I could save them. It's a messed up thing when you start going, what am I attracted to and where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
I had to overcome that. I had to get with a woman who was confident, who would take care of her business, who didn't need me to save her. And I had to be okay with being with someone who didn't require me to save her. This way we can actually grow and be who we are and love that, instead of being like, how come you're not letting me save you? It's a weird thing when you start realizing that you're attracted to the stuff that you've been around. And once you start doing some introspection and really going, what is it that I was trying to do? Like, what was I trying to find attraction to? What was I trying to fix? What was I trying to overcome? What was I finding myself attracted to? And you may be like, I was attracted to someone who's like my dad or someone who's like my mom.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't necessarily fall under trauma bond, and that becomes a different thing altogether, Christy. So I don't know if it would fall under that, but it definitely becomes more of a codependency. That's what it would fall under, because it would mean I need something from you and you need something from me, and when that's gone, we don't have anything healthy anymore. It wasn't healthy to begin with, you know, and so we try and go against codependency stuff. It's a lot. So that's a good question. So Granny's Undies, I love the name. Granny's Undies, hopefully that helps. I saw that. Yeah, we appreciate you too. Thanks for asking the question. That's pretty good. How does he fix that? The way he has to fix that is he has to really go in deep and go, what have I been through that makes me choose these types of people? What am I associating with attraction when I'm talking? It could be like you are in a crazy environment, so you're attracted to crazy people. It could be something that you're missing inside of yourself. You feel like someone's going to fulfill for you.
Yeah.
Let me just try and help you guys out with what to look for in a relationship. You need to be good on your own. They need to be good on their own. You want to complement each other so you're better together, not have to complete each other so you're codependent and you can't move. We need to be able to go like, I'm good, you're good, together we're better. Not, I'm okay, you're not okay, but together we're basically getting by. And you're like, yeah, let's try to grow as a team here. So a little bit different.
And I think it can happen too with,
Hey, TC.
and maybe, because I didn't hear you say this part, but I know we've talked about it before. When you're picking these types of people, a lot of times it does feel comfortable, right? Even though it's not right or it's not healthy, it feels comfortable because that's what you're used to. And a lot of times it comes from the childhood. So I just wanted to point that out as well, because it can be a comforting feeling, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. Usually bad.
Yeah.
usually not a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. We are in the middle of grief. My husband lost his mom at 15, and we lost his dad this last May. There's a lot going on there. Tiffany, do you want us to give you a couple tips to help you guys go a little bit smoother through this process, or are you mostly just sharing? I don't want to be assumptive and start telling you, here's what works, when you're like, no, we just wanted to share. Let's see.
I feel like Mama's Boy is bad and good. Here's the thing. Can I share something about this?
If you like, of course.
I think you have to have boundaries. If you're a mama's boy, there has to be boundaries, especially when you get married, right? Because I've seen some mother-in-laws really try to take over, so there needs to be boundaries that need to happen. But I do say, I can tell you, he has a great relationship with his mom, and that, for me, is something that's very important, because I have dated guys that do not have a good relationship with their mom, and there's reasons for that. So I can appreciate the mama's boy as long as there's healthy boundaries between the mom and the son. But I think it's kind of cute. I like when he always says, I love you, mama. Like, I love that. Like, it's so sweet.
Let's see. So Tiffany, yes, we have 2 kids also. Let's see. I was his dad's caretaker. We all lived together as a village. It was healthy altogether. And now you have a missing person. Somebody who was a part of that unit is no longer there, right? That's a pretty heavy thing. Here's the important part. When you're going through your grieving system, you're going to go through all of the phases. This is the important part to watch out for how people go through this. And I do mean the word through. It's very important that you're doing this. We're going to grieve differently, and we're going to grieve in different stages. You're going to go through denial and go, I can't believe he's gone. I can't believe this happened. You know, he was right there and now he's not here. I can't believe this is our reality at the moment. And you have to be able to honor him by being grateful for the moments you had and being able to find meaning. And the reason that he was here was to give us that blip in happiness, that blip in our life where we got that moment in, and accept the reality that he has moved on. He's gone on to whatever the next form of eternity is for us. I don't know what it is, but whatever your belief system suggests. Get past the bargaining phase. This is the part where you're trying to well wish. If only we could have one more day together. I can't wait for, I wish I could, have him sit here one more time and tell him that I love him, and I would give anything to do so. Get through those parts, because the well wishes don't come true. They just cause harm. And so come to the acceptance that wishing will not make things go faster. It only makes it hurt more. So it's okay to honor him and be grateful for what you had without trying to wish yourself into happiness. It may be anger that comes up. Anger happens when somebody is taken from us or somebody is lost. It also happens if you feel like it wasn't fair or injustice. This is when people die from accidents or something happens to them. And when you're going through that kind of thing where I can't believe that, cancer took my loved one, or I can't believe that this sickness did this to us, it can feel like a form of anger needs to come out as some form of justice or something to say, like, I hate that something was taken away from me. But that anger will only perpetuate a bad energy around the people around you. It doesn't make it so you honor the life that you had there, and it doesn't make it so you can find meaning in how beautiful the temporary moments that we have in our life are. And then ultimately, watch out for depression. Depression will fill you with doubt. It'll make it so shame gets a free pass. This is when you start saying, I wasn't good enough. I wish I would have done a better job of being a daughter-in-law, or I wish I would have, got him food, or I wish I would have got him a more comfortable bed, or I wish I would have done these things and I needed to do this. I'm a terrible person. I'm not good. I wish I was better, but I'm not. So I need to accept that I'm a piece of crap and must be what I deserved. Catch the negative talk, catch the shame, catch the judgment, because adding in those pieces only makes it so that the healing and the honor goes away. These do not serve you, so please pay attention to very heavy negative self-talk, because it will perpetuate doubt and it will make it so eventually you may fall into apathy. Apathy is when you don't want to do anything. In fact, you become nothing itself. You become the manifestation of actual nothing. You don't want to move. You don't want to get up. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to work out. You don't want to do a passion. You don't have anything. So you have to watch out for what those phases are, but you go through each one of those phases and know where they are, because the final phase is acceptance, honor, and meaning. Mm-hmm. Honor his life by being able to say thank you for giving us the time that you had. Find meaning, and life is temporary and it's too short for us to take it for granted. Grandpa has shown us that forever is not one of our options here. So let's be so damn good for each other in Grandpa's name, because we don't have a lot of time to blow that off. Find honor, meaning, and accept that what is right now is the truth, but that doesn't mean that we didn't grow, learn, or we can't honor his existence, because we are better from doing that.
Yeah, good job.
So that's going through the phases of loss. And so I commend you as a warrior to go through these phases in honoring your grandfather or father-in-law, whatever the connection was that you guys had.
And she's saying, I have all these all these days. I know if I'm having these moments, so is my husband and kids.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Absolutely.
I would highly recommend you guys talk about it out loud with each other. As a family, you guys go through it together. Everyone will go through their own phases. And one thing, I don't think you mentioned this, but as you're going through the phases, it's important to understand that you may go back and forth with some of the phases, but you're not going to live through those, right? Or live in those phases, like stay there. You move through them. So this may be a moment where your family comes together and you guys go through it. You guys talk about the things that you loved about him and that you honor him for. It could be a very powerful healing as a family together.
Yeah. And they'll make it so you guys can all grow as a family, too.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Matt's girlfriend, Natasha. How do you break out of codependency cycles of both feeling like you're not good enough when arguing? Interesting. Everything I've just read says stop, but it's hard to communicate when I feel violated. These are interesting terms you're using. When I'm upset, my boyfriend feels like I don't appreciate everything he does. He is saying what his unmet need is, which gives you the opportunity to help show him appreciation. Let's see. Oh, yeah, so, yeah, the interesting name part. Let's see, and then it kind of just goes into laughing about her name. Unvalidated, okay. It sounds like you guys are so afraid of being hurt that you won't listen. And maybe I'm misunderstanding, but if he's feeling unappreciated and you feel unvalidated, it sounds like you both aren't listening at all. That. It sounds like you're both just trying to tell somebody what to do so you don't get hurt, which makes you feel unheard and him feel unheard, and then which makes you guys both perpetuate feeling worse.
Yeah, or you're both adding to what you think the other person's trying to say or trying to do. Yeah.
So we're going to go back to what we talked about at the beginning. And Natasha, I would like you to, we're going to give you a couple tools just to make it so you guys can have communication go a little bit better. It's probably not a codependency cycle. It's probably just because you're both trying to be heard. I don't think it's that. So careful how much you try to diagnose each other. I don't think it's codependency cycle. But if you believe it is, you will make it that. So don't go too far into that part. Let's just start off with using the basic tools to make it so you guys can fix your basic needs before you start diagnosing how you guys have mental disorders. Most of the time it's not true.
Right.
I've been working with people for years. Everything from PTSD to addiction to depression. We overcome anxiety. All of it is because we have to rewire your belief system. But if you have a belief system that you have a codependency issue, you will sabotage every single thing that makes it work to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So don't apply that you have some sort of a mental disorder. These are all curable by rewiring your belief system. Let's start with the basic problem of not hearing each other. Whenever we get into an argument, what we have to do is we have an agreement that we have to listen, in which case we'll write as the other person vents.
Yeah.
She'll go. Now, guys, understand when your girl is going, she's going to stack. Stacking is when she connects most of the problems that she has connected to those feelings. And so she may go over 5 or 6 things that you feel are unrelated. But to her, they're all connected by how she feels. So you may have to make sure you write down each thing so you can compartmentalize and team up later. Not an easy thing because men are not wired for this type of conversation. Just so you ladies know. We don't do well with that. So expect us to have a hard time. A lot of times, too, the initial vent may not be authentic to what she really intends or what she really means, so you may have to go back and forth. Ladies, let your guys talk. Just write down without interrupting. You guys have to not interrupt.
Hold on. Can I also add to that, too?
Baby, please don't interrupt me.
Only
I'm trying to
interrupt. As you're going through that first part, I almost was like, well, then don't start the fight, but I didn't. But now I did. So anyway, so as we're going into this is very, very important for the women. Do not listen to what the guy is saying and only his words that he is saying. Do not add in your mind, well, I think it's this. He's saying this because I knew somebody once upon a time that also said this, and now this is what it means. Stop that. Don't do that. Write down what exactly he is saying with no additions. If you need additions, then you ask to clarify. Only write down what he is saying. It is very difficult. Yes. So anyway, go ahead.
Very true. So try to just listen and almost document. This is important too. When you guys are going back and forth, just take notes and redirect whatever it is to the paper. If he's saying things you don't like, put it on the paper.
Yep.
If she's saying things that are hurtful, put it on the paper.
Yep.
Write it down, and write it down as accurately as you can. The only time I say it's okay to interrupt is if you go, hey, I want to make sure I get it right, and you're going very fast. Can I get this first? I want to make sure that we're good. Do you always allow ladies speak first? No.
No. I prefer sometimes that he goes first.
So the way that we have our agreement is whoever had the initial, like, this is the thing bothering me, that person goes first. And so if she's like, hey, this is bothering me, like I have something I want to talk about, she's got to go first. And if I'm like, hey, that actually didn't hit me the right way, I'm concerned about that conversation, I got to go first. You can't go like, hey, I'm really bothered by something. They go, you know what? I'm going to go first because I'm a lady, and I'm just going to be mean to you before you can be mean to me. And you're like, but you don't know what the problem is yet.
Mm-hmm. You will find it interesting, those two sometimes, is that if you do start doing this, I know sometimes I have found that I don't need a solution. There's just things that I need to say, and for him to repeat back to me, and as long as he's good, I'm like, that's actually all I needed. I think I just needed to get it out.
To feel heard.
To feel heard. Now I can move on. Now I'm good. Like, that is it. As long as he's good, then I know we have to be good together before we just move on. I can't be like, my piece is said, see you later, good luck.
Which people do.
They do that,
You need to give the same exact feelings that, like, hey, you listen to me, now I want to listen to you.
Yeah.
So this is the way that you guys are able to, like, fulfill that part. Mind you, this is not an easy exercise.
It is not.
This is going to challenge you. So let's give you one more tip, Natasha. One more to make it so it's a little easier. This is what the point of this video was. When you're asking questions or when you're going through things, add in what your actual intention is so people aren't allowed to go with assumptions and create expectations. Add in what your intentions are for you. You can eliminate this by going, when you said this, it sounds like this. My reason for asking is I want to make sure this doesn't become a real problem in our relationship because you're important to me. Why did you say this? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm giving my actual intention instead of saying, why did you say this? Well, you're going to try and manipulate me. You're going to try and corner me. You're going to create a scarecrow argument or a straw man argument. You're going to make it so this is nonsense. You're going to do this, and you're trying to make it so you can get away with things, and you're doing this. It's like, no. My actual intention is to understand you so that you and I can be deeper in love, or to understand where you're coming from so that I don't have to make any assumptions. Because remember, the problem with assumptions is people believe they are true, but they are made up. You created an answer for somebody else, and it is not reality. But you will hold on to that because you believe it is true. And you will start doing harm with make-believe that person is never going to be able to defend against. It's a pretty important thing for you guys to recognize, because these are two high-level tips, by the way. First, if you're in an argument and being highly aware of what your intention is for doing the things that you're doing, very difficult to do.
Yeah.
And to listen authentically without interrupting and out saying like, "Ooh, that is bullshit," like without doing that.
Yes. Well, you have to, when you said this is high level, it's taking us some practice.
It's hard.
You have to watch the nonverbals, because if you're writing and you're just like, or rolling the eyes, or like doing any nonverbals that could be a trigger to somebody. It's a trigger for both him and I too. I hate the long sighs. Sometimes I look off to the side, like, okay, whatever.
The eye rolls.
Yeah, watch the nonverbals.
Yeah.
But also, the biggest piece of it, and this is one of the hardest things, but it's the easiest thing to do, is when you're having this argument, you have to both pause. So someone is in charge of going to get the notebooks.
Get the damn notebook.
We have made an agreement that he's the one that grabs the notebook. But we started having a conversation the other night. We were going back and forth, and I'm like, we have to go get the notebook. Someone's got to go get it. So he went to go get the notebooks, brought them out, and then we started our conversation. It slows things down. Also,
please don't do this.
Right.
Your
Got the notebook. Find your own pen. Start writing in highlighters. It's difficult, but sometimes even the person going to get the notebook, or if you need a minute, like, okay, I know for me, sometimes I just need it to be quiet for a second before I jump in. Express those things. The way that you argue and when you two are working on this together, and your fighting styles that you have will get stronger, but it's not easy. It does take a lot of practice, and each time, like, you mess up, just what are you learning from that every single time? But this has been something that's been truly a huge game changer in our dynamic, because him and I, we will push each other's buttons hard, and we have to be able to slow things down. And we each want to be heard, because we each have a lot to say.
So I'm going to help you with the last piece. There's two goals that you're trying to do when you're doing these exercises. The first goal, try and identify, if you can for yourself, because you may not be doing this even though you're talking, because a lot of times we feel because we're making noise that also means we're making sense. Not true. It is not true. Just because you're making sound doesn't mean you're making sense. What you're looking for is, what is the unmet need that you're having from this conversation? Do you need to feel heard? Do you need to feel respected? Do you need appreciation? What do you need? Do you know what it is? If you don't know what it is, they don't know what it is either.
Yep.
That's what you're trying to find out, is what is it that you need from me to make it so we're not fighting anymore. The second part is you need to make agreements. It's agreements. So you have to find out, what is it that we can agree on to make it so that we don't keep doing the same mistake over and over again. What do you need? And then can we make an agreement? Very, very different to make a request than it is to make a demand. It's not like, I need you to shut up. So start shutting up from now on. Like, this is a demand, not an agreement. It will not work. Thanks, Vincent. This won't work. You won't be able to grow if you are trying to just tell people what they need to do. This is the problem when you see people who are running through insecurities. Well, you need to do what I think because I'm scared. It's like, hold on, that's not an agreement. And if you start sacrificing who you are because the other person won't deal with their stuff, you're going to be death gargling your relationship anyways. In which case, what do you need, and what can we agree on to make it so it works for both of us?
Yeah.
How do you come to an agreement? All right, so we're arguing, let's say...
That's a great question.
So, let's pick anything. We're arguing over, like, okay, we did the love language. You're on your phone during quality time. You guys have probably had these moments where, like, hey, we finally get time together.
Yeah.
We finally have a moment. We want love language time. Mm-hmm. You're my person. I'm your person. I either want some touch, or I want some quality time, or I want to be able to do some words, and I want to interact with each other. I want some of us. I want our thing. But she's in her phone, just doing whatever to distract away from the time that we have together. You may go, what the hell? Why don't you ever want to talk to me? Why is that thing more important than I am? And you start making accusations and assumptions and start making expectations like, a wife shouldn't do those things. You should be talking to me. And you start making demands and making it so they're supposed to. It's your duty. You're obligated. And start making love turn into a chore. It's madness. Instead, you go like, hey, baby, it does bother me that when we have quality time together, you're distracting yourself with the phone. expect some sort of rebuttal, excuse, justification.
Yes.
Expect this.
Yeah. And I think that's the part to really catch time together. Could you not be on your phone? And the person that you're asking that to was like, but you're always on your phone when we're doing this. Like, don't do that. That is not helpful. Sometimes we gotta shut our mouths, listen, and then really hear what the person is saying and say, okay, you're right. Like, totally fine. Like, let me put my phone down.
What do you need?
Do it. Yes.
What do you need? What is it that you need? I need quality time to be without distractions.
Yeah.
So what can we agree on?
Right.
You know, what's the agreement then? And the agreement would be like, all right, if you're working on something for work, you know, feel free to like show me, hey, I got to do this one work thing. I'm going to acknowledge my work thing. But after this is completed, it should be 5 minutes. Let me get this done. And then phones are down. I would like quality time with you also. If you have somebody who's like, nope, I don't agree. I'm going to just do whatever I want, and I don't care if it bothers you. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. I'm choosing the phone over you. Well, now you have to assess values, needs, and how your dynamic for love works. And if you're in a dynamic where somebody chooses a phone over you, not good. You're right. I meant to call him today. Thank you, Mama. You are right. I do have to call him today. I'll call him right after this. Tell him not to go to bed.
Is he there? Can we sing happy birthday to him?
Yeah, happy birthday, Ray. Happy
Everyone
birthday.
put a whole bunch of likes on there for Ray's birthday.
Right.
We do.
I did remember today's his birthday. You're right. I'll call him right after this. Thank you for the reminder.
Yes.
Thank
yes. Yeah.
We will call him. Oh, happy birthday,
happy
Ray.
Birthday, Ray.
Happy birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to
and
Ray.
We love you. Yes.
Happy birthday.
Let me tell you, this guy, we'll do a really quick shout out for Ray, is one of the most incredible men. Like, me not having a father in my life, this guy is a truly, and I'm not just saying this, a really great example of a man, of what a man should be like. He really is. I'm also very thankful that this guy, I know he told a little bit of story about his childhood, but he did have Ray, this wonderful man, to be able to look up to.
Yeah, definitely one of my heroes.
Yeah.
And one of the bigger influences to help me be a better man. So I'm very grateful to you, Ray. Thank you. We are hoping to be able to visit soon. Mama, I'm glad that hopefully you're doing better with your cold, but happy birthday, Ray.
Yes, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So everybody here appreciates you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for being so awesome.
Yeah.
So very cool. So thank you for sharing. We appreciate you guys. But Mama, I'll call you soon. Hopefully you're feeling better. You said to wait till you were feeling better to give you a call. So hopefully you're feeling better.
Yeah. So many happy birthdays. I love it.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for wishing Ray happy birthday.
Good.
We appreciate you guys. You guys
are
fantastic.
So good.
All right. So we went over a lot. It's been.
Do we wrap up the making agreements?
Yeah.
Okay, we did. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, got it.
It's birthday time.
We talked about not being defensive. If someone's coming to you with something, we talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, good,
Call
Mama.
anytime.
So I can give you a call tomorrow. But if you guys want, we can call you guys after this. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Or we could just have everybody celebrate. What's up, Teddy? I saw you join.
Hey, Teddy.
I saw you, Teddy. So I feel good. Do you have anything? If you guys have any more things you want to go into, or if you guys want to do one more thing,
throw up your questions if you want.
For any of you, for what we do right now, we have our women's group. We have 3 spots still open. Like, this thing filled up quickly. If you girls want to book a call, click the link in the top. We have the Women's Warriors Way link. Go ahead and book a call. We can get to you guys soon. Crystal, yes, you are call tomorrow. I'll be on that call with you tomorrow.
What did we talk about?
Christy will be there too. No, it'll be good. I want to hear about your stuff. What are you looking to do? It's a free call. We just want to be able to see if we're a good match for each other. If what we do is what you need, we'll tell you what's entailed with working with the group, and then you just decide whether you want to work with us or not.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward,
it's
a good conversation.
Yeah, the really cool thing, he's been coaching men for a long time, and still that's what he does. But for the women's group, this is our first one we're doing. So he's coached women in the past, but whatever women join the women's group, September 14th. The cool thing is that there's so much support within this women's group, not from other women, not just, oh my God, what am I trying to say? From other women as well. But Rick will be helping to lead this as well. I mean, it is his program. So we are definitely very excited about this, and excited for the women that are jumping on board.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, Crystal, the call tomorrow is free. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no, not free? Are you serious? No, it's free.
Yeah, tomorrow's call is free. We don't charge to meet people.
No, I think sometimes people are like, oh, it's, it's going to be like hard sales. Or no, we are very human, just like all of you.
Yeah, we're people too. We're allowed to be people.
Yeah.
Hey, Master, let's see, I got a question here. Are masculinity and femininity true or no evidence for them? And what do you think about Andrew Tate? There's a lot going on there. My personal view, as far as that goes, for masculine and femininity, I haven't had anybody yet, and I've talked to as many people as I can on this topic. Nobody has given me any clear answers for this. I don't think that it's true. I don't see that stuff. I think there are just behaviors that people have and choices that we make. I feel like when people start adding labels and trying to say you're doing too much this or too much this, I feel it falls under judgments, and it starts to muddy people's authenticity. If you're a girl who likes cars, just like cars. You're not being masculine. You just like a thing. If you're a guy who just, I don't know, you're into art and you like doing fashion. Like fashion. You're not being feminine. You just like that. If you're making suits, it doesn't make you feminine. Like, you just like a thing. I don't think it falls under this stuff. Doing dishes, anyone can do the dishes. That's not feminine.
Who are we to tell people what they can and can't like?
Just like your
no
what
one
you
cares.
think. So
do whatever you want.
Being authentic, I don't think it has anything to do with masculine or femininity. I don't think it falls into these categories. Just like what you like, and then be as weird as you want to be. It's totally cool. Mani Petties, they're chill. I like pedicures. They're fantastic.
Yeah. I make them go
nothing feminine about it. Getting your feet not looking like
it's a great thing to do.
Troll feet, not bad. It's a good gig. As far as Andrew Tate stuff, I listen to some of his things. I think he has good intentions and good points. I think that he's being, these days, highly misrepresented, because while I don't follow all of the ways that he does things, and I don't agree with everything he says, I don't agree with anybody getting full-blown canceled. I don't agree with anyone getting just wiped off the planet. I don't think that that's right to do to anybody. I think that if you disagree with somebody, there's something that you can learn from each other. I think that the answer to bad conversation is better conversation, so be able to, at least have that conversation, understanding or even debate your point of view with them to try to grow. I think that when anybody gets canceled under any flag, I think it's an abuse of power. I think it goes against the golden rule, and I don't agree with anybody. Like, I don't care which side of the spectrum, anybody being canceled. I don't agree with that.
Yep.
So what's happening to him, I don't agree with. But do I agree with all of his things? Some of it, and some of it not. Just like anybody, same thing with any of them. I think that people are all doing their thing, and they resonate with some people. I think that he's going more for a younger demographic. I don't think that it's a bad message that he's sending to that demographic, but I don't always agree with the things that he's saying when he's in that spotlight. So I know it's not really a very clear answer for that, but I think it's just my opinion on any person. I don't truly know him. I can only know him based on the videos. But I don't agree with anybody taking clips and then putting them out of context and then saying this person is bad. Because a lot of things, even with this video, if you clip this right, I could be a monster.
Yeah.
If you clip it out and just take out the seconds where I'm like, I'd be something where like, and when I'm working with men, it's really productive. And sometimes they're working with women who have done so much harm and have done monstrous things. But we're really trying to make it so people can be healthy together and helping women be authentic and powerful in their own right to get past the healing. If you clip that right, I just said women are monstrous, women are a problem.
Well, they'll just take this one then.
They'll just take this one little piece and then say like, that's what he thinks. But they miss the whole part where it's like we're helping women heal, we're helping women find authenticity and get back to themselves again. Well, we cut that out. We just said the problem part. And so
Yeah.
I don't agree with anybody being taken out of context with that stuff. So
Yeah.
that's my opinion. That's
What
my
does Doxy say? I'm not into cheating, but it's true. Women have the tendency of not caring about sharing a top guy. They want to stick with those who are winning. You can see this all the time.
It's messed up, but it does seem true.
Look at I would never. Let me tell you something.
You're not in that position. You're not. We don't have to worry about that.
I would never even want to be.
I know.
There's certain people that there's certain careers that I would never.
It's not your thing.
No.
He's just saying this happens.
Oh yeah, it happens.
Like women are there. There
Yeah, I
is
don't
the women that
understand
are
it.
attracted. It's money, power, fame.
Yeah,
Those
you're
are
right.
the things.
This gets me a little jazzed up every time.
It does, but it's a reality.
I
It
like
exists.
it,
I
yeah.
have seen women
I have to.
all over, like the DJ from a radio station who looks like a monster. And so there are money, power, fame things. I've
Yeah.
seen women go after guys because they're famous, not because of anything
have
other
too.
than that. He's
Yeah.
a musician or a movie star or
Athlete.
a rapper. You pick a thing,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, I need to get that. And they're just used. There's women who choose to do that. That's one thing they choose to do. And so guys who have the options will abuse the options as far as they're
For
allowed.
sure.
If they're in a monogamous relationship where the agreements are we don't do that, then they won't. Oh yeah, you get it, Doxy.
Yeah.
I have seen it. Like any form of power, authority, anything like that, it's easily misused. But you got to know that both sides do the same thing. While guys may misuse status, women will use their body to get whatever they want. And both work. They both get to play the game however they want to win. And some people just have more opportunity with money, power, fame than others. And some women have different opportunities depending on how they look than others. I don't make those rules. That's just how that goes.
Yeah, but I think it also depends on, even though that's the case on both sides, what is the person's values? Like we have 3 girls, so I'm like hyper, like
There's a portions like where people will choose to be high level but not have to sacrifice. I think if you're talking, he said like top 1%ers who are millionaires, billionaires,
Yeah.
private jets, music videos, movie stars. Like those people, like they have different worlds, different options.
Yeah.
So you're talking about people in like this small little range. They're not going to be in the value system. They're like Mick Jagger's in a different planet.
Yeah.
These guys
Yeah.
have lived different lifestyles.
Yeah.
They're not going to have the same opportunities. The guys from Motley Crue, when they were at their height, had a very different level of
absolutely.
options.
Yeah, absolutely.
So people
Yeah.
will use money, power, fame, if they can,
Yeah.
to the women who are attracted to money, power, fame. Does that mean all women?
No.
Does that mean all guys do this? No. Truth be told, like 98% of guys don't have these options.
Yeah.
So they don't do that.
Right.
But they would if they could. Listen, we can make this up all day. We can say, well, women would if they could. Stop it. Some of us have values. Some of us still have our principles that we stand on. And some people, even if they did have those options, would be like, we're not doing that anyways. It's just choices. But depending on the level that you're at in your life, if you're very young and you don't have any of these standards in place to handle that type of stuff, of course, there's no comparison. I've never seen anybody have to go through it to know what it is. It's crazy. So it just depends. If you're older, like at this point, we've got some notoriety and some fame. We haven't changed a bit. My values haven't shifted. Her values haven't shifted. We've gone through enough where we're not going to be falling for this type of thing.
There's no way.
That's just a different level that we're at. Our awareness is different. We've been through too much. And so I think this is where just the choices come into play for what are your values, what are your principles. And some people, they haven't gone through enough to know truly what that is. And sometimes people make mistakes, or some people make choices that may haunt them later.
Yeah.
That's how causality works.
Yeah. I don't think I could ever be that person even if I
Young you would have loved it, though. I'm just kidding.
I was a little wild my younger years, but
Wild you would have been all in.
to what?
Party time. Where are we going? Oh, the rich guy's taking us all to the
No.
Bahamas. Let's
Listen.
go party.
No.
Shut up.
No, not a like. Ugh. Nope. Okay. Next question.
All right. What's your view on the right person's wrong time due to unforeseen circumstances, but a strong connection? It happens. I can't say that there's absolutes on any of that.
Me too.
Sometimes it's the right person at the wrong time. Sometimes it is. Is it common? Probably not. But is it impossible? No, it's not. Nothing's impossible. So that would be one of those ones where you'd have to like really assess the situation on whether it's correct or not. Mm-hmm. But is that a thing? Of course it is. You know, it's one of those things where you saying it, even people could go like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. So it exists, sure.
Mm-hmm. Let's answer Amy's. Setting up and standing up, I think, for boundaries, but missing person or situation. Pep talk, please. You see what she's saying here? Do you get it?
Setting up and standing for
so
boundaries.
So she set up her boundaries. She set her bound, but now she's kind of missing this person. No, you're not. That's your pep talk. No, you're not. Yeah, he wasn't there in the first place. Well, so what are you gonna miss?
Hold on there. You're talking as you. She's talking as her. The truth is one of the toughest things people go through is loneliness. For guys, it's one of the top pieces of depression is loneliness. One of the craziest things is I got my groups where we do just our phalanx calls, which is just our daily call for an hour. And like guys are like, it's one of the best parts of my day. I'm so lonely. I love hanging with my boys. Loneliness is a legit thing. And when you're isolated doing your stuff and you miss that type of like even perceived connection or even what you associate connection with, you will do, again, Amy, we love you.
We do.
We love you.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on. We got you, Amy. We got you. You'll throw your rose-colored glasses right back on and go, even though I was neglected, even though I was, discarded, even though this guy wasn't really authentic, even though he wasn't matching my needs, at least once in a while he talked to me. And so he's awesome. It's okay. I can overlook all of these things that completely disregard my values, my principles, and my needs because he said I look pretty and he's such a sweetheart. Amy. Take off your rose-colored glasses, Amy. Take off your. I can't wait to work with you. You're gonna be doing great. We got a little bit of time. If you want to just reach out and hang out and talk with her, or have some time where we'll be.
I'll reach out to you tomorrow.
Do that, but starting the 14th, you will not feel lonely anymore. And if you think this program that we have is easy, if you think what we do is the simple stuff, like we're just going to talk about your Myers-Briggs and then you're going to be good, this is not that program. This program will keep you busy. I have had people who have spent a lot of money doing all these different programs and they said, yours is the hardest one I've ever done. It's going to be awesome. You will be a full-blown warrior when you're done.
Much support. That's the beautiful thing about this. I mean, his men, every morning, whoever can jump on these calls, it's so fantastic to see these men that just get on and support each other. Some of them don't even, they're not in the moment where, they need something, but they jump on and support each other. And, of course, they have their nights where they all gather together, too.
We didn't tell her. I think we just did. We'll call you later, Amy.
No, I'll call you. Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Or you just tell her now.
Well, we'll work. We want to work with you, Amy. So we're
gonna work with you.
We're gonna work. We'll figure it out. We will work with you. So we talked about it. We will figure out a way to make it work for you.
Yes.
So that's what we're gonna do. So we like you. We want you in.
Yep.
So.
Welcome.
We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. Finger guns.
Yeah. I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah, so good news. It's good news for you.
Yes.
All right, so we had a question too. Why do people chase money? It's a secondary motivation we meet social values. There's a lot of things to money. Money is such an interesting thing. What does money mean to you?
For me, safety, security.
Mm-hmm. Safety and security. It's the main thing that money does is it makes it so that you don't have to suffer.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to love money to love safety and security.
Let me be clear about that, though. For me, it doesn't mean somebody else's money. That doesn't give me safety, security. Mm-hmm. Me making my own money gives me safety and security. That is the biggest difference. I don't think a lot of people work that way, but maybe they do. But
Yeah. As far as the love of money, this is the different thing. Money works like steroids or anything that amplifies something. What money does is amplify the type of person you are. This happens to lottery winners and stuff all the time. If you're a good person and you get a lot of money, you will do good things. If you're a bad person or a selfish person or you have addictions or issues, you will do bad things with a lot of money. If you do not have training in how to do good things with money, you will do reckless things with money because you are reckless with money now. It only amplifies who you are.
Yeah.
And so it just opens up options. It opens up opportunity. It opens up all of these things that you can do. And so when you have these options that were never existing before, it changes your choices. And if you're a person who's not good at being able to recognize the opportunities for being helpful or maybe harmful, if you're falling into negative or selfish activities, you can start getting into habits and problems, addictions, and all kinds of issues that you were never, ever able to have access to. But now that you got money, it's going to amplify who's in there.
Yep.
But I know some people that I would give $1 million to because they would make hundreds of people's lives better immediately.
Absolutely. And I think, absolutely. I think you and I both believe this, but the more that you give to people, and it doesn't have to be money per se, but sometimes that there are people that need that too. But when you can give to people without any expectation, your life will be either monetarily or for us, it means just more fulfilling overall. Because money can come and go, but the more that you give back to people, the more that you will end up receiving.
It can work that way, for sure.
I truly believe that.
You.
With my whole heart. I do.
So, I think that chasing money also, but money is power, and it does give power. It gives opportunity and power, and people can do great things or horrible things with money. That's the choice. It just gives you new opportunities, new options. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
So.
And why do we feel happy from giving?
Why do we feel? Because there's a degree of service that's inside of us. This gets down into our principles. Not only as far as follow a degree of fairness that when you're down, you want someone to help you, but it does make people feel good to help others. I think we're wired to do that.
Yeah.
Just like as social creatures, we feel terrible when we're isolated. Well, because even look at prisons, their ultimate punishment that they have in prison is you get thrown into isolation. You get thrown away from even murderers and rapists and thieves and all. It's better to hang out with some people than it is to be so isolated and alone. And so we're social creatures. It does make us feel valuable. It does make us feel like we have value. We like to provide service. We like to help. It does make us feel good when we can make things better. We're natural problem solvers just as people. That's why people like puzzles and crosswords and playing games. We enjoy being able to have a service that we do for others. This is another reason why people take so much pride in their work, is because they know that they're doing something that matters and it helps people, and that gives them purpose and value. So I think it's built into us to help others.
Yeah.
I think it takes a lot of damage inside of you to make it so that you don't want to help anyone anymore. This is when you're caught up in your law system. You're in the race to acceptance, and you've taken so much hurt that you're like, I'm just staying away because everyone hurts me. Depending on the situations that you've been in, I think that people naturally feel good when they help others.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's just how we're wired. I really do think it's in there. Let's see. I like to help give, applications. Help make the money.
Because are you a boss?
He's a boss. It's easier to give than receive for many of us. That's some personality types definitely fall into that. Money scares
That's
me.
me.
I know it's crazy, but it does. And this could also come from like what type of environment you've been in. Because if you came from a family where you've seen money destroy somebody because they may have gotten some, it makes perfect sense when you have an association with money that does harm.
Yeah.
So that's where I would work with you is go like, did you learn from their mistakes or do you feel tempted to repeat them?
Yeah.
You know, those are the questions that you have to go through.
Teddy says this is exactly what I'm dealing with right now. I relocated to be near my son, but now I'm isolated. Yeah, book a call, Eddie. Or Eddie, oh my gosh, Teddy.
Yeah, book. You guys can book a call on our link.
Just have a
click the link.
conversation.
It's a free call.
Yeah.
If you like what we do, you can work with us, and if you don't like what we do, it's okay. It's a good conversation. So go in. I've got it split up. We got the men's and women's section. So book the call for the women's group or book the call for the men's group. Either way, it's just a free call. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, I'll put the link in there too.
Yeah, thank you, baby. All right, it has been coming up on 2 hours. I'm pretty good. I'm ready to get to bed.
Yeah.
I want quality time without your phone.
Yeah, I'm busy right now.
All right, so let's see. We got Matt Chubbs here, back up. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can answer Matt's thing real quick, and then we'll get to bed. Advice on going through no contact with somebody, but you can't let them go. You're going through the phases that you have to go through to let them go. If somebody is choosing to not contact you, take a little bit of inventory on what your actual values and worth is. Because if you're holding on to somebody who won't ever reciprocate the needs that you have to have met, you're going to have to go through the phases of what seems like you're going through denial and bargaining at the moment. You're going to have to come to the realization that this person may not be the match for you that you're looking for. You know, and if it starts to make you feel bad because that person's behavior doesn't match what your needs are and you can't connect or even have a conversation with them, I think there's your sign. Isn't that a comedian's thing? There's your sign. Mm-hmm. So if it's hard now, it doesn't get easier later. It's going to be a little bit tough, but no contact, that's pretty much the answer.
Well, it also changes everything if it's court-ordered no contact.
Yeah, if it's court-ordered, you should definitely start moving through your acceptance phase, because that's done. That's good joke. Good joke.
All right, it's not even a joke. You never know people's situation. I mean,
go spin some plates. Go do stuff. Go find some adventures.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you, James Douglas Brinks. Thanks for following us. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
Hopefully anything that we've done has helped you guys. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for following. Thanks for being a part of this. Book a call if you want to talk to us. We look forward to meeting some of you guys. We would love to talk with you. Free call. We're really cool. We're really chill on these phone calls. We're not high pressure. We're not jerks. We're not going to psychoanalyze you and then throw you to the wolves.
If you've seen our latest video, you'll understand that we're both weird.
We're weird, just like you, and we love you guys for it. So, see you in the phalanx. Yeah, right on, James. It's good to see you, bud. And then, we'll see you guys later on. I hope you guys have a safe night, and love on the people that you're with.
Absolutely.
Because we're not here forever, so love the hell out of everybody. Enjoy your happiness moments.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Let's hit those buttons. I'm hitting them.
Hit it.
I'm hitting them, baby. Look at how...
Hit it.
It's as hard as I can. I'm hitting it so hard.